Hey guys, welcome. So, I'm standing here at a live event to launch our exciting new product, PCC, Premium Color Change Film. It's a color change with flight technology, really excited about the launch, but actually this is not the subject of today's video. Today's video is to answer the question that we often get during trainings. What tools are you using for wrapping? What kind of knife? What is a useful tool, a useless one? So we will answer this question by unfolding my wrap belt and my tool bag. So guys, everything that I have is here. That fit in this very small bag. Actually, this was my school bag when I was in high school. Funny, right? So, we will open it, see what's inside. Like every wrapper, I have the basic tools. The basic tools meaning glove, knife, squeegees, heat gun. I have a bit more than that, so we will walk through it. So first one, most important one of course, the heat gun. We need a heat gun for working, at least a source of heat. I prefer the heat gun and I want it light and cheap if possible, because, well, it falls on the ground quite sometimes. I kill my share of heat gun, so this one doesn't risk anything. Next one coming out of the bag, the wrap belt. Yes, I do use a wrap belt. I carry a lot of tools. I like to have them at all times with me. At least that is the theory. I have this terrible habit of putting my tools pretty much everywhere in my pockets or losing them. But I'm trying to force myself to use it. Well, actually, if I look in my back pockets, yeah, see, bad habits. Following is an interesting one. I'm not supposed to show you this one because of the brand inside, but I use it, let's face it, every wrapper uses it to not cut on the car. Do not cut on the car unless you're trained to do so. This is really, really useful. For the sake of the video, let's put that back in the bag. Finally, last one coming out of the bag, a thermometer. Yes, it is a IR thermometer to keep temperature of vinyl when I'm post-heating. Well, as you can see, battery is kind of low. I didn't use it for quite a time as well. You need to use it. I need to change the battery. So, the wrap belt, what's inside of it, we will see right now. First thing, you can see it on the top, a couple of magnets. Always handy to position the film on top of the car. You can position it, reposition as much as you want. It is a useful tool, pretty much needed at all times. Next, I have a couple of knives. I have two different ones. One is metallic, pretty light. One is plastic, a bit heavier. This is all-on-one. I don't know the brand of this one. I'm pretty much using, to be truly honest, the first one that comes to my hand. But I have a slight preference for the plastic one, as it allows me to never damage the car surface. Next, really handy one and a must-have is a glove. Glove, you must have one for wrapping. It is really important to protect you from cutting yourself, first use. Second, to have a good sliding on top of the material because it smoothens the touch. We have some grease on your finger. And final use, when we post-heat, it protects our finger from the heat. When you use heat and you have 100 degrees on top of the film, that is a bit too much. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have Teflon fingers. I burn myself. So the glove, must have. Next, a couple markers and actually even a pen. This is pretty handy, especially for demonstration. I'm a trainer, of course, but this comes in handy when you're working as well. How? When it's time to mark the vinyl to cut away extras, for example, you mark it, you can lift it in the air, cut the vinyl in the air away from the car, avoiding though to damage the paint. Then some tools you may be familiar with. The dentist tools. I have a variety of them, metal, plastic, different colors, different shape. To be fair, I'm not using all of them. I pretty much grab the first one that comes to my hand. What is the main use of it? It's to reach places where I'm missing, you know, the tiny fingers on top of the fingers. I wish I had them, but I don't. So this place is where my finger cannot fit. It is really handy to hold the material as well when you are heating to avoid burning yourself, or this one to put the material under the joints. Now we have, yes, a box. This box is a blade breaker. I'm using it to cut my blade when I'm working because we need to cut the blade to keep sharpness. and I see a lot of people cutting their blade on the floor. When it's time to pick up the scraps, we usually damage our hands. Happened to me multiple times. So I always carry this box here on the top. I can break my blade inside of it, and well, that's doing the job. You can as well have a simple box on the side. It's working perfectly. Then, yeah, this is a funny one. So, this is called a gecko patch. It's not the most useful tool of all time, but it comes in use sometimes. What is this? It is made for when the car is made of plastic, or when you stick a vinyl on top of a window. I'm pretty sure we've all gone mad with the magnet not working on a surface, making us use tape, which is time consuming. How is this working? It's made of silicone. You just clean it with water and you stick it on the surface, like this. It sticks on pretty much every surface except ABS plastic, and you stick magnet on top of it, holding a vinyl. This one, let me read the name. It's called a bodyguard. Okay, bodyguard, what is the use of this product? The main purpose of it is to cut the liner behind the film so you can make the hinge technique before even starting the wrap. But it's not what I use it for. I use it for removing extra pieces on top of the car, for example, on top of the window, because the blade is not going above the tool, making it no risk to damage the car. Pretty handy, I like it. Of course, I didn't forget about the most important tool of our profession, squeegees. I have here 2 of them with felt on. Wait, 2? No, I have more of them. So we said 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, not this one. So, all comes in different shape, different color, different thickness, different softness. So this one is pretty soft with a sharp angle. This one is pretty hard with a round angle. So they have many different uses. Why do I have so many squeegees? Well, actually, if you ask a wrapper what is a perfect squeegee, you will have a bunch of different answers depending on the wrapper. Find the one that you like the most and use it. As simple as that. So guys, that's it. All I have, all the tools that I own are here on this table. Even when I'm working in a workshop, I don't have much more to work with because those are the useful ones in my opinion. When I travel, I like to travel light, so everything, as you saw, fit in a small school bag. That's convenient. Now I know that when you work in a workshop, you can have a lot more tools than this. And actually, now that I think about it, I think Dominic in his garage has a lot to show you.